Well, we on the apex of a left-hander, there was a bit of water, and then in the following right, we clipped a wall and spun. Tried to avoid doing any more damage with the car in the spin, and then we got stuck, and some spectators helped us out. Took us a bit of time to restart, to be honest. Brian Bouffier, well, it could have been worse for Neuville, because Bouffier was first on the road, and so that may have offered some hope, perhaps. Clutch troubles, but still fifth on stage, proving that you can drive through adversity if you're good enough. 14.2 seconds off Mikkelson's time. And the new rally leader, Bouffier, 5.7 ahead of Hanlon. But look at this. Well, he said I got into a bit of a traffic jam, caught the zero, and the double zero cars bumped them to get out of the way, as you can see. Well, it's not too much of a problem, he says, and in fact the organisers were to sit down and scratch their heads and work out how much time he'd lost to get it back at the end of the day, which was to prove crucial. More on that in a moment. Giandomenico Basso lost power steering, very hard time physically, he said. Yes, then he got a puncture. Basically, he couldn't turn the steering wheel properly, hit a rock, and lost more than 4 minutes, so he's now down to 14th. Bad fortune, yes. Guy Wilkes, big guy's back on this one. Third on stage 5, up 2 places overall to 4th, 30 seconds behind the leader. Incredibly slippy stage, he said. Most definitely. Wasn't easing off, though, on full chat. Patrick Sandell was looking good on the first loop. Saw some great runs by the Swede in the Skoda. 8th on stage 3, but then lost time. 3 minutes with a puncture on 4. No troubles on 5, but 4th home and moves up to 6th place. 6 places, I should say, to 12th overall. What about Kopecky? He's been a bit quiet in this programme, hasn't he? Well, victim of power steering problems. Jan Kopecky, 4th and 5th time on stages 3 and 4. Still fighting to stay in touch with the leaders, despite going off the road in the middle of the run. Now 3rd overall, 24.6 behind the leader, Bouffier. Remarkable recovery. So chops and changes, and it's how you ride your fortune here. We've said that, and we'll say it again before the end of this one, you can be sure. Wilkes up to 4th place behind Kopecky then. Everyone moving up as the leaders started to tumble. We'll have more in a moment. Second loop, same as the first. Thierry Neuville winning stage 6, up 1 position to 8th, but 2 minutes and 59 off the leader now. His next target, Karl Kruder of Estonia, 12.6 seconds ahead in 7th place. Yes, how the mighty have fallen. This place really does bite, and so many big names have been bitten. We wondered where the attrition rate would stop. Brian Bouffier continuing to collect second places in stages, finishes second in stage 6, 5.4 off Neuville's pace, but increases his lead overall to 7.6 seconds over Hannon, who came in 5th on this one. No cushion really just yet. Luck a factor for everyone. Andreas Mikkelsen in this second loop, improving his first run time. 3rd on stage 6, giving away 6 seconds instead of 8.9 as he was on stage 3. Climbs from 6th to 5th position overall, 1 minute and 16 off the leader, as you can see. Well, Guy Wilkes 5th behind Kopecky and Hannon, now 4th overall, 35 seconds off Bouffier. Hannon then underway here and appreciating clean roads on stage 7. Driving 3 kilometres an hour faster than he did on stage 4, which was the other run through here. Taking the first stage win of the rally. Our new leader, shaking off that 10-second penalty from day 1. Good, clean, fast and fun run, he said. Looked it as well. Guy Wilkes, finished with the second best time on the stage, 5.9 seconds down. Better luck down the first run through here when he punctured. Around 6 kilometres flat, don't forget. Keeps 4th place overall, reduces his overall gap to on 3rd place Jan Kopecky to just 3.2 seconds. Have to take care, he says. It's very tricky out there. Driving 1 kilometre slower than Hannon. Brian Bouffier cost him the rally lead. 3rd best time of the stage with 9 seconds down now on Hannon. Leading the Frenchman by 1.4 seconds, I should say, overall. Not easy, but the car is working well, said Bouffier. No problem for Andreas Mikkelsen on the stage. Took the 4th best time and cementing 5th position overall, it looks like. Then again, you're loath to say anything like that these days, but Mikkelsen is driving in the Union Jack liveried Skoda, looking very good and very clean. Big problems in the first loop for Jan Kopecki. Everything resolved now, though, it seems. Fifth best time, 12.1 seconds down in this one, maintaining third position overall, 30 seconds off the pace. Yes, finishing the day better than he started it, I think you might say. Well, bad luck catching up with the young Belgian Thierry Neuville. Two great rallies, and now the roof seems to be falling in. And on stage 7, a puncture. 2 minutes 16 seconds lost overall. He benefits from the misadventures of Carl Krudder, who had an awful stage, and Tony Gardemeister, who stopped to change a tyre and moves from 8th to 6th place. That is 5 minutes and 7 seconds now off the lead, Neuville. Not a familiar position for the young Belgian. We'll see how he copes. You have to drive through adversity, of course. Hannon then, the leader, Bouffier down, but 1.4 seconds only separating the pair. Wilkes in 4th place, holding station at the moment. That gap between himself and Kopecki, less than 4 seconds. Well, very fast in the first 2 stages of the rally. Patrick Sandel had a terrible second day. First loop, the Swede set the 8th fastest time of stage 3 and the 4th on stage 5, but then they got a puncture on the second loop on no better. 7th time on stage 6 is the only good news for Sandel, who ended the day 13th overall, 13 minutes down on the leader.
When it's working, the speed is there, and then we can fight in the top. But this afternoon I had 3 punctures, and I tried to go same lines as the other ones. And me and Guy Wills was discussing after one stage that we're hitting the same rock, and he didn't have puncture, and I had puncture. So it's just one of those days where things doesn't go my way.
Proton troubles. Well, after power steering problem in the morning, Gianni Manigabasso had engine problems in the afternoon. A pity for him, who set the 8th quickest time on stage 6. Problems in the middle of 7. And to avoid damaging the engine on his Proton, he slowed the pace and finished the day 10th, 9 minutes and 20 off the lead. But it isn't the only problem for the Proton team manager, Chris Mellors. He remains upbeat, though. Now, Chris.
Unfortunately, we've lost PG with an oil pressure problem. But we're quite encouraged by the pace of the cars. It's been a lot closer again. The testing we've done has proved very worthwhile. You know, hopefully tomorrow will be better for us.
I like Chris Mellors, he turns up well. Jan Kopecki said to be a very hard and tricky rally for both drivers and cars, this one. And even the top drivers have their troubles. Kopecki lost power steering 15 kilometres after the start of stage 8. Despite that, the Czech driver kept a good pace. Lost only 37 seconds in that one. Jan classed 3rd overall, 1 minute and 7 behind the rally leader.
Of course, you know, we need to concentrate not to make a mistake, not to make a puncture, because many drivers have problems with these punctures, and we try to keep our position, and of course we try to go quick, because you never know what can happen. It's still a long rally.
Jan Kopecki certainly profited from the misfortunes of Guy Wilkes. Very fast since the beginning of the second loop of the day. The Brits runs flat out on 8, but had a puncture again. Lost more than 2 minutes and dropped 2 places overall. Wilkes now 5th on the rally, 2 minutes and 59 behind the leader, and 1 minute 16 behind the 4th place Norwegian Andreas Mikkelsen, who took the 4th best time on stage 8. Brian Bouffier 3rd on stage 8. Yes, on this very tricky stage, the Frenchman preferred to take care, stay on the road. No mistakes allowed then for him after his crash in Corsica. Faultless but cautious, you could say, on the stage, and the Frenchman 6.8 seconds behind the stage winner. But as he had that problem on the 0 cars on stage 5, the race direction allowed him a time compensation. And at the end of the second day, he's now 2nd in the overall rankings, only 8.2 behind the overall leader. A perfect position then for him for the last day of rallying. Bouffier in a happy place then. He deserved to get that time back. Fancy catching both the 0 and the 00 cars. Questions were asked, time was given.
c'est vrai qu'il faut absolument que je rallie l'arrivée
Well,
avec le
absolutely, I
maximum
need
de
to see the
points
finish line
possible. C'est vrai
with
qu'en plein
the
fond
maximum
pur,
possible
Yo est
points
vraiment
here,
très
and it's
rapide,
true
mais bon,
that
tout
the
peut
pace of
arriver.
Johanan
J'espère
is
que
very
les
impressive at
spéciales
the
dans l'autre
moment,
sens vont
but
m'inspirer un
anything can
petit peu
happen.
plus et que je vais pouvoir
I
grappiller
hope
du
that the
temps.
stage is tomorrow that we're going to be on the right side of Madame Good Fortune. But here in Neuville, with all the problems that he faced on stage 7, the Belgian knew that he had to fight here just to get a modicum of points, really. Despite his troubles, the Kronos driver still on the attack, second quickest on stage 8, only 5.3 behind the stage winner Johanan. Overall he stays 6th, 5 minutes and 13 behind the overall leader. And that leader, of course, is Johanan. It's winner of stage 8, as he was on stage 7, driving flat out on these tricky stages, the Finn, with the Skoda flying and increasing the gap on his opponents. 8.2 ahead of Bouffier. Not a big gap to carry into day 3 here, where he, of course, will be opening the road tomorrow. Yes, so a tough task ahead, but if there's any man to do it, it's this man.
We are first on the road, so they can be a little bit more gravel when we are going opposite these stages, but I cannot complain. I'm leading now, and I try to keep the Brian behind, which won't be easy. He had also good speed today.
There we are, you've heard it from the man. And Makula leading Bouffier and Panseri by 8.2 seconds. Kopetsky and Starry in 3rd place at the moment. Wilkes and Pugh running in 5th behind Mikkelsen and Flöne. Yes, it really does spool out then, and over 5 minutes of deficit for Neuville. Doesn't look great, does it?
Yalta. It's not Monte Carlo, it's not Corsica, it's not Sanremo. It's all together and more difficult. And I speak with all famous driver, very happy. They say it's fantastic strategic rally.
Mr. Chervenenko, we salute him. He's actually driving in this one. So indeed is this man, Mikula Chimch. Yes, 3rd after stage 6, behind Cedric Cherin, the Belgian in the Renault, and Valerie Gobin. But on stage 7, there's a big shakeout for the 2 leaders who retired. The accident for Cherin and mechanical problems for Gobin. So, Mr. Chimk is now the leader of the class. Meanwhile, Voldemir Pechenik, yes, consistent progress for the Ukrainian driver. Started the day 9th in the Production Cup standings, finished the day 2nd, 1 minute and 28 behind compatriot Mikula Chimk. It's 9 positions, 1 for Yuri Shapovalov. That's between the first stages and the last stages of the day. He's 3rd at 9 minutes and 58 off the leader. Anton Chuzmenko, beg your pardon, started day 2 in 5th place in the Production Cup standings, but lost 15 minutes and 30. Sadly on stage 4 due to mechanical problems, and falling to 12th place. And it's a high attrition rate, climbing to overall though at the end of the day 4th place, 11 minutes down. This is on board with Mr. Kuzmenko. Shame about those mechanical problems dropping him down, but the attrition rate is high here, and he may well manage to get back a podium spot. Jean-Michel Rau, after 2 stage wins on day 1. Oh, there's, I beg your pardon, the Mr. Chimk leading Pechenik by 2 minutes and 17. Here is the 2-wheel drive cut. Yes, 2 stage wins on day 1 for Jean-Michel Rau, leading the 2-wheel drive cup standings. The second day, Rau won 2 stages to lead comfortably overall. Martin Kangur started day 2 in 10th spot overall. He then won 4 stages and closed his gap on Jean-Michel Rau. Finished day 2nd, 5 minutes and 35 down on the French driver. And there is Martin Kangur and his Honda. Great to see the Hondas here, still mixing it. So the top 7 in this class looking like that, with Rau ahead of Kangur, but an enormous gap of over 5.5 minutes. Well, this may be the first IRC edition of the Yalta Rally, but it has proved to be dramatic. They said it was going to be hard, and it has been. Punctures, spins, penalties, accidents, we've had the lot. How will it all pan out? Well, you're just going to have to tune in and find out. Midnight Central European time tomorrow. It's 11 in the United Kingdom. I'm Carlton Kirby. Hope to have your company for that. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.